everyone, welcome to our cardio high intensity interval training video. I'm going to have you guys start with a 2-minute warm-up. You can follow Kevin if you're standing or Mackenzie if you need to modify with a seated modification. So I'll have you both start with some marching in place, driving those knees up and adding an arm swing. What this class will involve is a 30-second on exercise, focusing on a higher intensity exercise, followed by 1 minute off exercise for an active recovery. As you feel more comfortable with your heart rate rising, you can swing those arms even more, driving those knees up even higher. Good. Why don't we add some shoulder rolls? Rolling those shoulders back and down while continuing to march in place. And to get those arms warmed up, let's do some openers, opening your arms wide and closing them across your body. Good, keep marching those knees up. We'll do a few more openers and closers, and then we'll go back to those arm swings, focusing on big movement. The goal of this exercise class is to get your heart rate rising, working on some strength training as well. Good. Let's go back to the marching with arm swings. As you'll see, Kevin will use some weights if you have dumbbells at home, but feel free to get creative, as you'll see Mackenzie using water bottles. You can also use soup cans, or if simply the weight of your arms is enough, that's great too. The first exercise that we're gonna start with, you can pick up your weights or your water bottles. You're gonna be punching across your body while tapping the same foot out to the side. We're gonna do this for 30 seconds. And remember, for a high intensity, I want you to go as quickly but as safely as you can to get that heart rate elevated. Good job, everyone. Halfway there, keep it up. You should start to feel your heart rate rising. Good. Now set your weights down and we'll go into that 1 minute active recovery, back to that marching in place. This is an opportunity to allow your heart rate to come down while continuing to keep moving. Keep swinging those arms and bringing those knees up nice and high. If at any point you feel like you need to change from what Kevin's doing to modify or to take a seated rest break, that's perfectly okay. And remember to stay hydrated during the course of these exercises as well. In a few seconds, we'll be starting our standing or seated mountain climbers. Again, you can do this with the use of weights, your water bottles or soup cans, or just your arms. Ready and begin. You're gonna be alternating your arm and your leg, bringing that arm up overhead with the opposite knee driving straight up. Again, for balance, if you need to do this next to a countertop or a chair, or doing it modified like Mackenzie is, this is a great exercise. Good. Put those weights down. We'll head back to that active recovery of marching in place, swinging those arms, and lifting those feet. At this point, you should really be feeling your muscles loosening up, working those arms and legs, and feeling your heart rate coming down slowly. The next exercise we'll prepare to do will be focusing on taking big steps forward and back. You'll see Kevin start with his right leg for 15 seconds, and then we'll switch to the left leg. Ready, set, go. Taking nice big steps forward and back. You can see Mackenzie in her chair, alternating legs if you choose to do so. Tapping your heels as you go forward in both sitting and standing, and back onto your toes with your step back. Good, let's head back to that active recovery of marching in place. At this point, everyone's arms and legs should really be feeling a good exercise. For the next exercise, we'll be doing a squat, or if you're modifying, a sit to stand. Feel free to add a cushion or a pillow to your chair if you need to make that modification to raise your surface height up. You'll also see Kevin will be adding some weights for his overhead press with his squats. You can pick those weights up if you choose to use them, and go ahead, start your squats or your sit to stands with an overhead press. We'll be here for another 20 seconds. Remember, when you come up from that squat or that sitting position, that you're really squeezing the backside, coming up all the way straight, raising those arms up overhead to get full extension. Good job, everyone. You can put the weights down if you're using them and get back to that active recovery, marching in place. Similar to the forward and backward stepping that you did previously, the next exercise we'll be doing are side-to-side steps. Make sure you have enough room in your house to be doing these steps. And in a few seconds we'll begin. Ready, set, go. Big step out and back. As you can see, Kevin is doing this standing, making sure he's picking his feet up with each step. And in sitting, Mackenzie is doing it in her chair, tapping her heel and toe out to the side. Good news, everyone, we're halfway done. Let's go back to that active recovery. Marching in place, sitting or standing. We'll be here for a minute and we're gonna go through all 5 of those exercises again. At this point, since we are halfway through, if you needed to grab a sip of water or take a small rest break, that would be encouraged. Or if you feel like you're ready to challenge yourself a little bit more, you can feel free to pick up a set of weights or those water bottles for the second round through. So So pick up those weights if you choose to use them. We're gonna go back to those across body punches with your step out to the side. Go ahead. Good. Remember, for this to be a high intensity class, we want you to move as quickly but as safely as you can. You're halfway there and you guys are doing great. Good job. Put those weights down. You can go back to that active recovery, marching in place. If you're feeling up to it, you can continue with those big marches and big arm swings. Or if you feel like you're getting a little bit tired or fatigued, you can do smaller steps during this phase as well. Good job, everyone. Again, to remind you, the next exercise will be those standing or seated mountain climbers, opposite arm and leg raising at the same time. Go ahead and pick up those weights if you're choosing to use them, and go ahead into those mountain climbers. Good job. Halfway there, keep it up. Keep taking nice deep breaths in through your nose and out through your mouth. And good. Put those weights down if you're using them, and back to that active recovery. The next exercise we'll gear up for are those big steps forward and back. We'll start with your left leg this time. Right. Let's get ready to do those forward and backward steps. Left foot forward, go ahead, heel to toe, going forward, and coming back onto your toes as you step back. Good job, everyone. Back to that active recovery, marching in place. Good job, everyone. Keep it up. We're almost done. Keep swinging those arms. Only 2 more exercises to go through, and then we'll do our cool down. The next exercise will be back to those squats or sit to stands with an overhead press. Pick up those weights if you're using them, and go ahead. Try to squat down nice and low. Make sure that those knees don't come past those toes if you are doing the squat variation. Good job. Reach those arms up nice and high. You should really be feeling all of these exercises in your arms and legs. Good job. Drop those weights, place them down nice and safely. Back to that active recovery. Good job. Keep it up. Almost done with the class. Last and final exercise in just a few seconds will be those lateral side steps. So stepping out wide to the side and coming back. This is the last exercise, so give it all you've got. Ready, set, go. Big steps out to the side. Halfway there. Three, two, one. Awesome job, everyone. Let's just do a little bit of that active recovery, standing, marching in place, and then we'll end with some stretches for our arms and legs. At this point, everyone should really feel your arm and leg muscles like they got a good workout. Maybe even broke a little sweat. During this minute recovery, feel free to add those shoulder rolls or opening and closing of your arms. You to slow down those marches until you come to a standing position, or if you're in the chair, to modify a resting seated position. And let's go into a hamstring stretch. So if you're Mackenzie and you're in your seat, you can extend one leg out, up nice and straight, and gently lean forward. As you can see, Kevin is doing the same thing but in a standing position. If you need to hold on to a counter or a chair for this, that's perfectly fine. Good, and we'll switch legs and hold for another 30 seconds. Repeat those again, switching legs and holding. You can relax your legs, and let's do a stretch for our arms, reaching one arm across your chest. Feeling that in the back of the shoulder, You can use your other hand and arm to gently assist. Switch sides, reaching over with the opposite arm. And we'll repeat these two one more time, switching arms again and holding for 30 seconds. And last time, go ahead and switch arms. I'd like to thank Kevin and Mackenzie for doing this class. You guys did great, and I'm sure everyone at home did a great job as well. Make sure to keep moving, drink lots of water, and continue any of the stretches and exercises that your therapist have given you as well. All right, thank you.